want to introduce Dr. Shaunna Menard. She is CEO. Yeah, can we give her a hand? She's here, everybody. She came all the way from Canada, yay? Okay. Dr. Shaunna Menard is CEO of the Health Professional Academy and author of Free to Heal and Six-Figure Health Coach. Hello, right? 30 years as a doctor and health coach led her to teach health coaches how to create six-figure, soul-satisfying practices without burning out. She is the former chair of public health, professor of medicine, and IAN teacher, and has spoken to thousands on the stage and television. And she lives in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. Great. So great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to connect with so many of you talented healers. It's my intention that you receive and hear exactly what you're seeking and ready for at this moment. How do we heal the overwhelmed, burned out, stuck healer? And in the words of Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? I'm going to share with you today that it's absolutely everything. I'm a healer, like you, and I have definitely been in need of healing. Many of us as healers, we give and give and give, often come up short, become overwhelmed, and we can really become stuck, especially when we've suffered a significant loss. How many of you have had a loss of a job, a loved one, a relationship that just left you gutted and stuck and overwhelmed? Yeah. Well, today I'm going to share with you how to get unstuck and heal the healer. We're going to go over how it works, why it works, and exactly what to do regardless of conditions. How does that sound? Sound good? All right. So many of you know me as a teacher at IIN, an author, a mom of 4 sons, a 6-figure integrative health coach, assistant professor of medicine, chair of public health, founder of the Health Professional Academy. But what you may not know about me is the devastating loss that has led to this sacred and powerful teaching moment that I have the honor to share with you today. When I was 14, on April 14, my grandmother died of a rare cancer of the bone marrow. That galvanized my mission to help people live their longest, healthiest, happiest lives. That led me to medical school, to become a health coach, and then ultimately to this moment that we share right now. 40 years to the day of my grandmother's passing, I would find myself renting a cottage on the banks of the Fraser River because my 3rd son, Jordan, at the age of 19, was emergently medevaced to the larger hospital where he was diagnosed with a rare, acute, life-threatening form of a cancer of the bone marrow. We were devastated. But through that experience, love was amplified. How many of you came to do this healing work because of a healing experience either with yourself or with that of a loved one? Yeah. How many of you noticed in that healing experience an amplification of love, an increasing connection and compassion, either for yourself or someone else because of that healing experience? Yeah, me too. Through this experience, love was intensified. We told each other every day we loved each other. We meditated every day. And when my dog Buddy was alive, I used to greet him every morning with, "Good morning, Mary Sunshine, and how are you today?" And so Jordan and I would text each other. Whoever was awake first, we would text the other person with, "Good morning, Mary Sunshine, and how are you today?" Often with a little funny gif or a meme. It was our little code. I'm awake. It's all good. Let's roll. In February of 2022, on 20/20/22, at 2000 hours, at 20 years of age, my beautiful Jordan left his physical body for good. Every parent's worst nightmare. We were devastated. As a healer, as a doctor, as a mom, how could I let this happen on my watch? The ultimate failure, the ultimate inadequacy. As a doctor, I was trained to prevent death. That was my job, and I had failed. I don't know if you think about this logically, that's sort of a setup for failure. Nobody had told me that. I can't believe I didn't notice that. I don't know if you noticed, none of us is getting out of here alive. Okay, rephrase, I see some panic faces. The doors are not blocked. You've got another 20 minutes. You're good. You're good for another 20 minutes. I promise. But we were devastated. If that's where the story ends, I would have nothing to share with you. But that broke my heart wide open to the powerful healing of love. Nothing in my 25-year medical career could have prepared me for what was to happen next. The next day after Jordan passed, I was so frail, so fragile. If you breathed in my direction, I would have just fallen over. I didn't know what to do. So I did what I did every morning. I meditated. And I closed my eyes, and I meditated, and I saw him. I saw Jordan and my dog Buddy, and they were beautiful. They were glistening. I'm just making that up. I'm just imagining what he would look like. And then I heard, "Good morning, Mary Sunshine, and how are you today?" Like nothing happened. This was a cheery voice. I was not. I'm just making this up. I'm just imagining what he would have said all those other days. And I started to really miss him. And that image of him, it turned a fuzzy, staticky, dark gray. And I heard, I'm not over there on that channel. And I had the image of a radio dial and how I was shifting over to this lower floor, lower channels. Never in my life had I had a reason to feel so bad. But never in my life had I had a reason to feel as good as humanly possible. I really wanted to connect with him. If this was even real, maybe I'm just making it all up. The next day, my husband and I are driving along the lake, and I get full-on body goosebumps, head to toe. I can't make myself have goosebumps. And then I hear, "Wait for it." If this is my thoughts, wouldn't I know what I'm waiting for? And I thought, well, it's a windy road. Maybe there's going to be a nice property. And as we crested the hill and turned the corner, there above were two gorgeous eagles. And they weren't just flying, and they weren't just soaring, they were dancing, this incredible acrobatic dance. And one of them was doing the victory pose. The week before, I showed Jordan the victory pose and how it was powerful and freeing. Over the next 90 days, I would personally have an encounter with over 100 eagles. I don't know about in your neighborhood, but that had never happened before in mine. I had a 20-minute stare down with an eagle. There was another eagle 10 feet away, standing on the snow, picking up his feet because the snow's cold. I'm like, you can fly. And it wasn't just close encounters with eagles. It was butterflies, blue butterflies, and rainbows inside and out, double rainbows, signs everywhere, signs, and yet still, I demanded evidence. I'm a scientist. I'd been a doctor for decades. I wanted proof. I said, Jordan, tell me something about Dad that I don't know. He said, he's looking at tires. I go to my husband, I said, are you looking at tires? He said, what? I said, it's okay if you are, but are you looking at tires? Why? I said, are you looking at tires? Jordan told me, he goes, you're starting to freak me out. I said, well, Jordan told me you're looking at tires, are you? He said, yes, but you couldn't possibly know that. You were with your clients. I said, Jordan, tell me something about your brothers that I don't know. Nothing. He said, there's a bro code, Mom. I ain't spying on you for my brothers. Fair enough. I said, tell me something about Grandma I don't know. She's looking at a green book. I phoned my mom 2 time zones away. I said, you looking at a green book? Is there something about a green book? She goes, well, I was at the dollar store today in the book aisle, and yeah, I was holding a green book for the longest time. It was all green, just white lettering for the title, but I didn't buy it. Why? I said, Jordan told me you were looking at a green book. How is this possible? It's not possible unless he is still right here. I started to write down my conversations with my JoJo in my book, Morning Cup of Joe. And in there, there's stories of finding missing rings and missing children, and we still have an ongoing relationship. We play the word of the day game. He pops a word into my head, and it shows up in some surprising way. A couple of weeks ago, the word was fiduciary. I didn't even know what that word meant, and I'm pretty sure I've never used that word or seen that word. Sure enough, a couple days later, I'm asked to look at legal documents and fiduciary. My massage therapist knows about Jordan. I'm at the massage, paying for the massage, and the girl at the front desk is all of a sudden going, ah, ah, ah. Their usual spa music had, oh my gosh, I just got to do that, 11:11, I'm just going to get it every time. I know. Couldn't have planned that one if I tried. He's here. And the girl at the front desk is going, this is not on our playlist. And the music cranked. Their usual lyric-free spa music was cranked, and it's some guy singing about California. And the massage therapist says, is that your son? And I'm like, oh, probably. What? That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I said, what song is it? And she put her phone up to the speaker because she had an app. And she said, there is no end. full title, There Is No End to Love by U2. He still makes me laugh. When I'm writing my notes, he wrote, I know I'm your favorite. I said, Jordan, all of my boys are my favorite. You're my favorite, Jordan. Ryan's my favorite, Ryan. Matthew's my favorite, Matthew. Brennan's my favorite, Brennan. So now I have to take my notes and put them in a Google Doc so that I can submit it for my book. So I voice dictate the passage and then I check for typos. And it stopped typing after, you are my favorite, Jordan, period. I'm busting out laughing, typing a book about my son who's passed. He still makes me laugh. How is this possible? One, we are not only our physical bodies. Two, there is no end. There is no end to love. And three, love is the frequency that connects us. A big reason why I feel that I was able to connect so quickly and easily with Jordan, and you all can, by the way, apparently, is that one, we meditated together for a year every day. Super easy for me to tune to that channel. That was a well-worn groove. And two, a tool that I teach called the Love Elevator that is in all of my books. And I'm going to share with you briefly the Love Elevator because I think that will help. So I want you to imagine this is a building, and it's a building, and this is the neutral lobby. I'll be your concierge. And as you come in here, you see that there's some stairs up to the mezzanine. And that's the satisfaction floor. Really easy to get to satisfaction from neutral. Now from the neutral lobby, you can go to your right side over here into the Love Elevator, and you can get all the ascending floors to positive and higher emotions, vibrations, frequencies, consciousness, right up to pure love, joy, enlightenment, everything you want, including connecting with my son, is at the top of that Love Elevator. Or from the neutral lobby, you can choose to go over here into the negative direction and get into the Fear Elevator and go into descending orders all the way down to those negative emotions, including guilt and shame. Now, there's no conditions associated with this Love Elevator. If you find yourself in overwhelm, been there a time or two myself, you just can't get to ease, freedom, joy, and abundance from here. It's a different elevator. And just because someone might come on and push your buttons to a really low floor does not mean you need to get out on that low floor. You, and only you, choose your floor. But when you're in grief, I don't have access to enthusiasm or excitement. I just don't. It's a different elevator. The best you can do from the Fear Elevator is just get to neutral. Get to neutral. But from there, once you're in neutral, remember meditation day one, from neutral, I can get into the Love Elevator and take it up to the tippity top and connect. Now here's the thing. I'm human, I'm a mom, I'm grieving. And so Jordan gave me some tools to help me connect with him. Because I couldn't always connect. Remember the fuzzy dark gray? So here's a few tools to raise your vibe. One, meditate. I have a Love Elevator meditation. Go on YouTube, there's thousands. Pick one you like. Sleep. Go for a walk. Maybe you'll bump into some eagles. And my favorite, appreciation. Jordan would say, stop and give me 20. And I had to write down 20 things I appreciated. My pen, my cup of tea, my favorite socks, the sunshine, my heart beating. Doesn't have to be anything big. Well, your heart beating is a pretty big thing. But as soon as I got to 20, I could connect with him. Another one that you can all do right now, if you have a pen or a pencil, put it in front of your teeth like this. This activates the zygomaticus major muscles. It induces smiling. Your brain picks up on these physical cues and you actually feel happier. Studies show an improved response to stress and pain from doing that. How's that? Now, this is not about pretending to be happy. I'm trying to get a lot in a short amount of time. This is not pretending to be happy when you don't. That's not what I'm talking about. You're going to feel all the feels. You're going to go all them. But do your best to find relief. Tune in the direction that feels better. Get up into the top of that love elevator because that's who you really are. I share this with you so that you know that you can alchemize your pain into purpose. And that as you heal yourself, you heal others. And as you heal others, you heal yourself. We are all connected, waves of the same ocean, rays of the same sun. There is no end to love. I want you to pair up just briefly, and it's okay if there's 3 of you, and I want you to repeat after me these few phrases. Just look at each other as you're doing this. You are more than enough. I am more than enough. I hereby release you from feelings of guilt and inadequacy. Who you really are is pure love. We're all just doing the best we can. I love myself, bumps, bruises, and all. And you're kind of cute. Be easy about it. And that's the end of the sharing. I'm just going to wrap up. I'm like, but we could do that. I want to make sure I keep to my time. Be easy about it. Jordan says, judge less. Judge yourself less. Judge others less. Love more. Love yourself more. Love each other more. Go with the flow. He shared with me, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. Enjoy this precious trip of a lifetime. What does love have to do with it? Absolutely everything. Be good for you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.